Okay, you guys, this is another video with your boy Brandon on how to win in the game of real estate no matter what is happening. So, specifically, what I'm doing right now is I'm going on to an appointment where I'm going to be meeting with a seller who wants to sell their house. Obviously, I asked them, well, how much do they want? They want more than I can pay them in cash. So what does that mean? Does that deal's done? Like there's no way to make money? That seller's greedy, they're unreasonable, there's nothing I can do? No. I'm still going on the appointment. Why? Because I have somebody who wants to sell their house. And I'm in the business of helping people transition from having a house to selling it, right? That's my job. So what are you going to do, Brandon? Well, obviously, I'm probably not going to make him a lowball cash offer because he's going to tell me to kick rocks. Well, then what else can you do, Brandon? I mean, that's it, right? You could just pay him cash, right? Well, cash is an option, but there's other options. One of those other options being creative financing. Hey, Mr. Seller, do you need all of that money right now? Are you going to go buy another property? What's your game plan? And obviously, I've already talked to the guy. He's not using this money to buy another property. He already has another property. This one's completely vacant. So he's not needing the money to go buy somewhere else. Very important. Very important, because there is a lot of people who do. There's a lot of people that are like, hey, Brandon, I need to sell this house so I can downsize. I need to sell this house so I can be closer to family. I need to move out of state. I got a job change, right? A lot of those people need the money to go do something else with it, which I get. So in that case, terms don't make sense. In this case, they may. I don't know. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to, as Pace Morby would say, find the bunnies. What is it that they really need help with? What solves their problem? Obviously, everybody wants cash, but that creates other problems, right? Now you have, in this case, $340,000 of cash. You know, what are you going to do with that? You're just going to get taxed on it? You're going to give the government 25% of that? And then you're going to put it in a bank account getting you 0.5%? Like, is that your plan? Right? Talk through it with them. Like, help them understand. Like, teach them. Like, okay, you get the money. Then what? Okay, you go on a cruise. How much is that going to cost? $5,000? Okay. Then what are you going to do? You're going to buy an RV? Okay, what's that? $50,000? And then you're going to cruise all over the United States? Okay, how much is that lease payment on that? Right? Oh, it's only $300 a month? Okay. You know what I mean? I'm just like, okay, well, what if I could get you all those things? What if I could solve all your problems for you? You know, would you be willing to work with me? Well, yeah, sure, maybe, right? Depends. Tell me more. And maybe this guy doesn't even want to do that. Maybe he really just wants the cash. And maybe he wants much more than what a cash offer can be. What do you do at that point? Well, you can do a novation, right? You can buy the property and say, hey, I need a delayed closing. I need to fix up your property so I can sell it for the maximum amount possible. Would you be willing to wait a few months while I do that? That's an option. Would you be willing to have me listed on your behalf as like a no equity novation, right? Where I don't actually do any work. That's an option. You know, a lot of paperwork and legalese and disclosures needs to be done, but you know, there's an option. Okay, so you don't want to do any of that. Well, how about this? I know an amazing real estate agent that will give me, and don't say this, that will give me a marketing fee if I connect you guys and you use them. You know, I have this realtor that I know very well. I trust them. I believe in them. I think that your property aligns perfectly with their skill set. Would you be willing to at least hear them out and let them pitch you on their marketing idea? Okay, sure, right? Because if you need more money than any investor is going to give you, you're not willing to do terms, you're not willing to do a delayed closing, you want the money, you want a certain amount of money and you want it, and the only way you want it is cash, and the only way that's going to happen is on market. Okay, cool, no problem. I can hook you up and get a marketing fee. So here's the deal. The reason why I'm making this video is if you're a beginning wholesaler and you don't have any money, you don't have any ability to close on a deal, there's more than one way to make money here in real estate. You can do this by connecting them with people, right? Hey, I know a flipper that can buy this in cash. Hey, I know an investor who wants to turn this into a buy and hold rental if you're willing to take terms, right? If they could just pay you instead of the bank. Hey, I know an agent that's willing to list this for you, and they're willing to, give you a slightly better rate because I'm referring you, and that helps you save money, and then they kick me back a little bit. Every single one of those, you guys, is an opportunity for you to help the seller and make money doing so. And connecting them with a flipper, connecting them with a buy and hold investor, connect them with a real estate agent, right? All of these are possibilities for you to make money and to help them and help your network. Everybody make money, right? So that's why I'm going on this appointment. It probably doesn't make sense as a cash offer. It may not make sense as a buy and hold. It may not make sense for terms, right? Depending on his monthly PITI. He might really just need to list it on the market. So maybe we can do that for him and make it really simple. Maybe he'll just do it himself and I'll hook him up with a realtor. Either way, I'm going to try to help this guy and point him in the right direction. And by doing so, I hope to make a little bit of money. But I'm using my skill set. I'm taking all of my knowledge and wisdom and applying it to this guy's situation and saying, hey, I'm the expert. I have all these different solutions for you. Pick the one that you think is the best. And I'm here to help you, right? So just wear that hat when you're going on these appointments with people, even if it initially doesn't make sense. Okay, well, how can I help you? I had somebody call me yesterday. She said, hey, Brandon, I know you're a wizard and you have all kinds of knowledge and stuff. Can you help me analyze this deal? And I said, absolutely. What's going on? And we looked at it from a cash perspective. Wasn't going to work. We looked at it from a seller financing lens. Would it work? Because they owe a bunch of money. Okay, how about sub 2? Maybe, right? The monthly payment was about $4,200. Maximum amount of money that could potentially be made was like $5,000. So there's an $800 delta there. Is it really worth all the time and effort to try and do that? I was talking to her and she said, not really. I don't have any money to give these people. They're basically at break even. The purchase price is too high. It still needs some work to finish some things out. There's this other development opportunity, and I was like, yeah, I wouldn't count on that. She was thinking it could be turned into a duplex, and I said, okay, what's all around you? Is there duplexes around you? And she said, no, it's all single family. So I'm like, okay, so you're basically praying and hoping that the city council, the zoning department will allow you to do that. I wouldn't make that bet, especially if you're surrounded by single families. You're gonna have to ask for a variance from that department, and they do not have to give it to you. So I wouldn't buy that property based off of that assumption that they're gonna do that for you. So what else is there? Well, it sounds like they just need to list the property. So I told her, I said, hey, hook them up with one of your favorite realtors, have the realtor give you a marketing fee if it works out. There's always a way to make money. So, I just wanted to let you guys know, just because they don't accept your lowball cash offer, don't stop there. Keep going. Keep trying to find solutions. There's always, always, always a way for you to help that person, even if you're not the one who's able to do it. Maybe you need to hand it off to a realtor. Maybe you need to hand it off to a flipper or an investor who's better at negotiating and say, hey, listen, I have a guy named Josh. He is the man. This is his area. This is exactly what he buys. He has all the information for you. I trust his knowledge and I trust his wisdom because he does this day in and day out. Could I please give his number to you And could you call him, or vice versa? Could I have him call you and explain, you know, kind of what the market's like in this area? He lives just a couple blocks over. He lives here. He knows this. This is his area, you know. And if you're not familiar enough, or if negotiations aren't going very well, get a second voice. Call somebody else and be like, hey man, can you hop in here and help me close this deal? You know, help them understand what the price of their property is. Can you help me understand why they value it so highly? Can you know, like, what do we need to do here to get this deal done? So anyways, that's enough of me rambling. I just want to let you guys know that there's always a way to make money, so just keep at it. Thank you guys so much. Catch you later.